shadow work is everywhere right now, and it seems like everyone is talking about it. And I want to ask you a question. When you think about shadow work, do you think that it's this scary, terrifying process of digging into darkness and wounds that if you open them, you can't close them back up again? And if that thought scares you, then this video is for you. Because what if I told you that shadow work doesn't have to be this scary excavation, right? That in fact, it's the gentlest path to reclaiming your power. Okay, and if that sounds great, then this video is for you. I'm gonna be going over a 3-step method to shadow work that I've simplified. But before we get into that, please smash that like button, hit that bell notification, and subscribe so you never miss an upload. We're building a community of light, and everyone is invited. All right, so let's get into it. The 3-step method that I want to start with today with shadow work is going to break it down in a way where we can still do some probing, right? Some gentle probing, but also ending with the most important piece of this, which is compassion. But first, let's talk about what shadow work actually is, or my very best definition of it is really this process of identifying these parts of ourselves, right? That are there to help us. The shadow isn't a bad thing. It's not this evil monster, this scary monster, but it is there as a part of you that has always wanted to protect you. And the shadow wants to prevent harm from coming your way. It has existed there for you, tucked away, and it pops up anytime that it thinks that you are in danger. Okay, this is one explanation for it. There are several others, but I want to stick with that today because it really ties into the ego and that part of ourselves for self-examination. It gives us a lot more power when dealing with the shadow. Okay, so really want to think about it as a protective mechanism for yourself, and that because once you think about it that way, you can start to release that judgment you have about the shadow and what it's there for, right? And start to make friends with it. The judgment really is the splinter that gets in the way of progress. It's the biggest barrier in the shadow work is the judgment. And we're going to release that today. Okay. So step 1 in the 3-step curiosity method that I like to call the 3-step curiosity method to shadow work is number 1, identifying the trigger. Okay. And we're going to use an example today. I want you to think about somebody in your life. It's always easier to point to somebody in your life, someone who triggers you, okay? Who triggers you in some way. Now, we're not going to talk about what the trigger is right now, but I want you to think about how you feel, right? Get honest with yourself about how you feel when that person does that thing, okay? And they may not even be doing it to you. It might be something that they're doing to somebody else, but how do you feel? What feelings come up for you? This is very important. One of the biggest lessons I've learned from my spiritual mentor is that feeling is healing. Okay. So do you feel angry? Do you feel disempowered? Do you feel tired? Like, what is the feeling? And you just notice it. And I like to start with the word, huh? With a question mark. Huh. I feel anxious. Huh. I feel judgy. Huh. I feel hurt. I feel hurt. Right? Identify that feeling. Okay, that's step number 1. Once you've identified the feeling, you can move on to step 2. And that is get curious. Start asking the questions. Okay, why do I feel scared? What is this bringing up in me right now? All right. And if you really want to go deeper, if you're ready to go a little deeper, what traits in that other person who's triggering me might I also possess and inherit? Do I have some of those characteristics? Are we clashing? Am I triggered because I might also be that way too? Okay. This is just a question asking section. Okay. So number one, let's recap. Identify the trigger. How do you feel? I feel hurt. Number two, get curious, ask the questions. Maybe I've also cut in front of people before too. Maybe I'm also someone that's not always paying attention on the road too. I forget to share. Could it be that I forget to share also? And number three, okay, let's move on to number three, the most important piece here. I kind of alluded to it earlier, and that is that compassion piece, right? It's releasing the judgment, loving yourself, all of the bits and pieces and all, okay? Really, really, truly, truly heart connecting with that inner sacred child that's already inside of you, that's living within you, okay? He or she may be 5 years old. Some of your inner childs might be in their teens, right? When you do this work and when you start doing the inner child work, you will start to identify where your inner child is. But the most important piece is that you can look at your inner child, that 8-year-old version of yourself, and say, I get it. I get what you're trying to do. I see you. You're all right. But we're good. We're good now. Okay. I haven't always been there for you. I hear you. You want that safety right now. I get it. Okay. I'm here for you now. Okay, we're doing the work now. Okay. Really, really being able to heal that inner child, be there for yourself now that you are here learning the lessons of light in this time-space reality, to be able to step up into your power. And that is the simplest way of really doing this shadow work and really reclaiming your power again. And that's what I love about this method, right? That it's not this scary process of having to dig up these things, of having to face these terrifying pieces of yourself that you reject. No. I want you to really think about this as an empowering, loving process for yourself. And as light workers, shadow work is essential. Okay, and I don't want to downplay the importance of shadow work, because we are all here to learn a lesson. We're here to heal ourselves from lifetimes of having not learned the thing before, and lifetimes of neglecting our inner child or those past cell memories of ourselves, right? So that we can go out there and do the work and be the light in the world that people are receiving light from, right? So that we can go out there and advocate, so that we can go out there and be leaders or creators in this lifetime. And of course, raise the vibration of this planet, right? We've got to work on ourselves in order to do that. And so that is your homework. You don't have to call it homework, but I'm challenging all of you to just pick one part of this process, only one. That is the building block with the shadow work. You don't have to do all three. If you want to spend time in the probing phase of just asking the questions, spend time there. Or maybe you're already in the stage of just having compassion for yourself on a daily basis, releasing that judgment. If you're brave enough to get to how you feel, do it. I'm only challenging you to do one of these. Come back in the comment section after you're done with that and comment noticing. Thank you so much for joining me today for this shadow work tutorial, I guess you want to call it a tutorial. Until next time, stay sovereign, stay uncaged, my brothers and sisters, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.